everyone, and welcome back. It's Gina from orchidandopal.com, and I am back today with the October 2021 dollar bead box and bag monthly beading subscription. This is one I've been coming back to share every other month or so, and these boxes come at different times for different people. It all depends on when you sign up during the month. So it's entirely possible that you won't get your October box until later on if you had signed up later in the month previously. So don't worry if you don't have your hands on this one yet. To get all the information you need about this subscription, all of the details about signing up, you can check out the link that is right down below the video. I also have a coupon code that is ORCHID2, and I will leave that below as well. That will save you $2 off any purchase. And that even includes purchases from their bead store, because they do have not only the subscription, but they also have a store where you can check out all of these items plus a lot more, most of which just being $1 a piece. Another perk of being a subscriber or a member to the dollar bead box is not only getting the surprise contents in the box, but also being able to go and pick and choose the things you want from their site also. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack this box open. All right, so you see on top we have the dollar bead bag subscription. So this is an $8 a month add-on that is optional, and that will get you 4 strands of 3mm and 4 strands of 4mm fire polish beads each and every month in a different assortment of colors. And then below that, of course, we have the dollar bead box, which we will get into after we look at the bag. All right, so let's kick it off with our 3mm strands. And to start out, we have the matte jet vitriol. So you can see that matte black in the background, and then you get all those really interesting pops of colorful metallics, silver, gold. I'm seeing some green, magenta, copper, all different colors going on there, showing up on parts of those beads. And then we have one called Sapphire Travertine Luster. This one is gorgeous. We're going to see this one in the 4mm too, I believe. But you can see that transparent blue-green in the background, then that travertine finish over the top, giving it that extra bit of texture, adding a little bit of a greenish tint with the olive and brown tones that are speckled over the top. Next up is the opaque white rose gold luster, and this one gives off a very warm appearance with a bit of a coppery reddish metallic luster over the top, giving us sort of a light orangey tone overall. And then our last strand for the 3mm is the matte bronze iris. Another one with the matte finish, not as glossy and shiny. Also a little bit more muted as far as the color tone goes. You can see that there are some of those different colors of metallic showing up with that iris finish, which gives us some of that blue and purple, a little bit of gold, just depending on where that falls on the bead. So that's it for our 3mm strands, just really versatile and very uniform check fire polish beads to work with in a variety of ways in a very tiny sampling of all the different ones that they have on their website for just $1 a piece. Then we get into the 4mm, and first we have matte violet fuchsia, which is this lovely combination here of the different shades of pink. We have that kind of magenta, purpley pink fuchsia, and we also have some hot pink. Also a little bit of crystal clear in the center, and then overall a matte and frosty appearance. And then next up we have just the violet fuchsia. So just like the first strand, except that it is not matte, this one has the typical smooth and glossy fire polish appearance. Same color combination with the different tones of pink and then the clear in the center. And then here's that 4mm strand. We had taken a look at the 3mm Sapphire Travertine Luster. You can see this one a little bit better, being that it's slightly bigger. You can see the bluish green transparent glass in the background with those olive and a little bit of silvery and brown speckles over the top with that travertine finish. Then we wrap it up with the 4mm metallic bronze iris. So we had seen the matte bronze iris in the 3mm. Here's our metallic. So this one does not have that more muted matte finish. This one is shinier, as you can see, brings out a little bit more of the color tones and differences in the iris finish, especially as you move it around under the light. So that's everything we have for the dollar bead bag. Once again, that's an additional add-on if you choose to do so. That doesn't add any extra shipping or anything to your box. It's a great way to build up your stash of fire polished strands, especially in the versatile 3 and 4 millimeter sizes, which you find a lot showing up in different patterns. And next, we're going to get into the contents of the dollar bead box. All right, let's see what we have in here. So dollar bead box, if you're not familiar, there isn't typically a monthly theme. This is really just a sampler of all the different things you can find in their shop to give you an idea of what you can find and what's available to purchase more of. We have a little note here talking about some items that you can find in their special deals section. Also, all of their social media information. On the back, we have the list of everything that is included in the box. You can see we have some strands that we're going to take a look at, as well as additional items and a little bonus item down at the bottom. So here's a little sneak peek for you of what is inside. I'm going to get organized and then we will take a look at everything one at a time. All right, so let's get started with our strands, one of my favorite sections of this box. We have, first of all, these tiny little 2 millimeter check glass pearls in the color olive. This is a strand containing 42 pieces, and you can see they are medium green, definitely olive green color, and in very good shape, especially for such tiny beads. Next up, we have another strand of check glass pearls, this time in the larger 4 millimeter size, and these are in the color called Bones. We have this kind of neutral, creamy, vanilla type color right here, slightly yellowish tint to it, also in good shape and have that classic pearlescent, shiny finish. The third strand we have to look at contains some more fire polish. These are the 6 millimeter size and the color is called Alabaster White with Travertine. 20 pieces on this one. And just an example of some more fire polish that we get to take a look at, especially if you get the bag subscription. In addition to this, we get a lot of additional sizes beyond the 3 and 4 millimeter that you get in the bag, especially seeing some more of these 6 millimeter, sometimes 5, sometimes 8. Here's another strand of the fire polish, so you really get an idea that they have a lot of fire polish strands in their shop. This one is called the Crystal Forest Green Luster. You can see that transparent deep green color. Let me hold it up to the light so you can see that light passing through with that sort of metallic, very light lustery finish over the top that is glistening under the light, seeing some speckles of brown in addition to that deep green. Next, we have this one containing some check glass gem cut rondelles in the 3 by 5 millimeter size. These are called Ocean Green and kind of remind me of Amazonite, that gorgeous color, and how there's a little bit of a variation in the different colors here. We've got a little bit of clear mixed in with some of that beautiful light turquoise, and you can see that faceting that is around the sides. We have yet another strand of fire polish. These are now 8 millimeters, so getting even larger. This one is called Green/White Opal with Travertine. So these are a little bit more opaque. You get a lot of color variation there as well. Yet another shade of green, seeing a lot of greens this month. Also some of those earth tones splashed over the top, giving these just a little bit more interest. And then next up we have some check glass Druck rondelles. These are alabaster white with beige luster, 2.5 by 4 millimeters, so pretty small in their size, smooth, round, glossy, flat disc shaped beads in that light neutral bone color with the alabaster and beige luster, adding that little bit of a honey drizzle over the top. And then our last strand of the box before we get into the additional items is one containing the 5 by 12 millimeter check twisted drop beads. These are in alabaster white and there's 20 pieces. So as you can see, there is a hole that runs through the top of the bead and they have that drop-like shape. At first I thought these were check leaves, but they're actually not. There's a slight twist to them and a pointed bottom and quite a number here on the strand. We get 20 pieces in total. So you can see right from the strands how this is a random sampler of beads. You get all different shapes and sizes. No two boxes are quite the same. But you do get an assortment every month of different strands plus additional items, and the additional items can include things like focals, pendants, loose beads, focal beads, sometimes crystals, sometimes stringing material, so the next section especially feels like a sampler. All right, so let's see what we have in store here. We've got first a bag containing 2 of the 14mm check glass flower beads. These are in opaque yellow with copper wash. And there we go, you can see those 2 pieces. The hole there runs through the side of the bead, and they have that beautiful bright yellow opaque glass and that metallic copper that's settling into the details of the flowers. And then we have a tiara cast heirloom clasp. There's 1 piece, as you can see. This is a 15mm size. Nice to see the Tiara Cast brand in the dollar bead box. These are made in the US of pewter, and you can see it's got a little bit of detail there on the bar, and they are the same on the front and the back. We also have 2 of these chartreuse with travertine check glass tabular square beads, larger, chunkier 16mm size. And I like when we get pairs of 2 like this, especially with this type of size, because it makes it an option to turn these into a pair of earrings. You can see depending on how these are turned, you're going to have more of that finish or coating showing up in some places than others. And you have a kind of pretty bright lime green background, but because of that travertine finish, these are toned down a lot and give more of an olive green appearance. And there is a look at where the hole is located. Next up, we have some check rondelles in orange opal. There's 14 pieces in the bag, and they are a 3x6mm size. So here's our little handful of these fiery, kind of milky looking, bright orange and yellow striped, flat pressed discs with the hole there in the center. Our next bag contains the 14mm pewter round floral drops, 2 pieces included. These are actually very lightweight. You could use them at the bottom of earrings, for example, or use this as a charm next to a clasp to give a little bit of additional detail to your piece. But you can see that inset flower, and you could actually add a little rhinestone right there probably too, where you have that indentation. Our next bag contains 2 pieces of the orange opal with bronze luster triple cut turbine beads. These are 10x11mm. There's that really interesting shape with the sort of table cut appearance on the side where you have that pop of orange and much more coppery looking on the sides where you have that luster coating, and there's a hole that goes straight through the center of the beads. Next up, we have a Swarovski 10mm cushion cut square in light azure, and there's 1 piece included. How great is that to get a Swarovski piece in the dollar bead box? Love seeing that, especially getting a stone. Sometimes we've seen some bicones and different items. This is gorgeous. Look at that icy light blue and all the faceting, and of course, great Swarovski quality. We then have a bag of some check glass ovals. These are 5x7mm, and the color is called Ocean Green Opal. 10 pieces included. Beautiful, milky looking turquoise blue color, letting a little bit of the light through. The hole runs through the center of the length of that oval. And I'm noticing that even though we aren't getting a particular theme or anything, the dollar bead box is pretty random. We're seeing a lot of these fallish types of neutrals and oranges, olive greens, but also some really pretty pops of that turquoise, which really looks nice with some of these colors. Speaking of which, we have the next bag, which contains some check glass vintage style top drilled leaves in turquoise, 8 pieces of 6x12mm size pressed beads. So another pretty pop of turquoise in this opaque color, very smooth and glossy, and yet we still have that little bit of detail where you can tell these are supposed to be leaves and the hole that is drilled right through the top. So these hang down like a drop shape. Then we have a bag that contains a 17mm check glass table cut dragonfly in opaque beige with travertine/turquoise wash. And here is what that looks like, and you can see that kind of almond looking color combination there, the travertine and brown on the sides, that lighter tone of beige, and then that dragonfly which has that detail brought out with a little bit of blue or turquoise as it says in the wash. And then we have a bonus item this month, and this is a check glass mix called Desert Garden, and there is 1 ounce included. So even though this looks like a very random mix, which it is, these are all check glass. You may have some duplicate beads in here, which will be nice, but it does follow its own little color palette. You could use these together or separate them out. And I have a container of bead soup going for bead embroidery projects and different things. I also use some of these items as embellishments for extender chains. For example, if you just have a single leaf, sometimes you can work that in that way, just to give you some ideas if you're not sure what to do with a random mix like this. And as I've done before, if you sort this out and separate out the beads, you generally end up seeing that there's more in there than you thought. So that's a nice bonus item to get this month. So that is everything for the October 2021 dollar bead box and bag. I greatly appreciate you being here and unboxing this with me. I hope this was helpful for you and let you get an inside look at what's included this month and get a general idea of what this type of subscription is all about. You can check out the playlist I have for lots and lots of dollar bead box and bag unboxings going back several years. And don't forget, the link will be right down below to sign up to check out all the details about the subscription and the different options they have, and the coupon code, which is ORCHID2. Again, you can use that not only to start up a subscription, but if you're already a subscriber, you can use that coupon code, which is good on anything in their online store. Feel free to leave me a comment down below. I always love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, definitely feel free to give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button while you're here, because I would love to see you back again real soon. I'll be back with lots more, but in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, happy beading.